Right when her work for Idol finished, she started to leave, which made the other staffs to think she is always heading straight for home. Every time the work for Idol ends, after a while she goes into a coin laundry shop, and then she waits there while wearing a disguise. Afterwards, she suddenly greets someone, which was our MC, who is a normal, regular, basic guy. And his name is Rintaro Narita, who is an family restaurant's employee. Also, he is an underpaid guy with lots of overtime working hours. Afterwards, in the time back, right after he finished college, he joined into this restaurant for a part-timer, but the manager offered him to work here as a full-timer, so he accepted it. In the end, he never left. After that, his co-worker takes a holiday because they are having a cold, which made him to get little upset, so he decides to leave this job right after finding a new one. But then he sees a job application rejected reply from the job he applied moments before. After returning to his home, he thoughts to himself there is nobody in this world that wants him. Plus, he still has lots of unwashed dishes that's sitting there for days. In the end, he started to eat ready-made lunch. Afterwards, he thoughts to himself he at least has a job. All of a sudden, he sees a popular Idols podcast, and she was talking about her career, which made him to think he is hearing about this kid a lot recently. And then that hanker asks her on how is her TV work going, to which she straight up replies it's really tiring, which shocks Rintaro because she is being really frank. Afterwards, he asks to her on why is her new song is named Not For You, which is almost like implementing that her song is not relating to their fans. To which she replies it's just as it's named. And this shocked them because she said the truth on live. Afterwards, she takes a look at the comments, and they are not liking her because she is being really rude. Even he got stalked because there are some haters and only a few supporters are there. Afterwards, they asks her to perform a song. As a result, she decided to sing her song that's named Not For You. But while singing it, she thoughts to herself that she can't feel the good thing to sing. After seeing her, MC was shocked, and he thoughts that her singing skills are awesome. All of a sudden, he drops some food on his dress, which left a stain on the dress. As a result, he removes the dress and puts it on the washing machine. But to his surprise, his machine didn't even start it. After realizing he still got a lot of dress to wash, he decides to go the laundry machine shop. And after getting inside, he got shocked to see someone using it, so he silently walks in and decides to leave as soon as possible because it's really cramped if there are 2 people or more on inside. But then when he clicked a button, nothing happened, so he decides to Google it. But to his surprise, that idol video pops up when he opened his phone. So he slowly looks behind him and gets shocked because she looks exactly like the idol from the video. In the end, he decides to not think about it and put it in the imagination. She then suddenly tells to him that the washing machine lid is open, which got him off guard, so he stops there. So she goes on by calling him once again and asks him to close the lid properly for that machine to work. In the end, he confirms that she is that idol. Afterwards, she offers him a detergent to use because this place doesn't have a detergent, to which he declines her offers by saying he will buy it from the vending machine. And to his surprise, it was out of order, to which she replies it was like that for a while. Afterwards, he still hesitated to use it from her by thinking he never used detergent before, which made her to laugh slightly. As a result, he gets embarrassed and he takes the detergent from her. In the end, both of them is sitting there silently, waiting for their dress to be finished washing. Afterwards, he thoughts to himself on why is an idol sitting in this type of place. Also, she is being really kind to a stranger like him. In the end, they just sits there silently. After a long time, he realizes she is playing something on the phone. So he asks to her if she comes here every time, to which she replies she does come here because it's the closest place from her home. He then goes on by asking that she should let someone do it for her rather than coming all the way to here by herself. As a result, she started to blush while saying she never had anyone to wash her clothes other than her grandmother. Also, she lacks the guts to let someone wash her clothes. In the end, he says sorry to her for asking something weird, to which she blushingly replies it's okay. He then thoughts to himself that she seems like a cold woman in the TV, but on reality she is a grandma girl. As a result, he suddenly says he has a grandmother too, and she will always make him a food called ozuini, which is like a red beans on the top, which shocks her because it's like a zensai, rather than ozuini, which he said earlier. Afterwards, he shows her the proof as a photo. As a result, she accepts it. He then gets really proud by saying, his grandmother's Ozuinii is everything for him. After seeing him, she says that his world of view is interesting, because his grandmother's Ozuinii is itself a two dishes mixed together, which made him to laugh. But she just looks at him silently. In the end, both of them get silent. Afterwards, she started to say that she likes to watch the washing machine because it is really silent. Also, not a lot of people needs this type of place, but for her, it's something she really needs. To which he replies he can understand that. After a while, she gets up and decides to leave. And while taking her dress out, she thoughts to herself that today washing time kinda went really fast. She then suddenly notices him not in there and using his phone outside the shop. As a result, she realizes he is trying to be thoughtful about to not see her dress, so she can feel at peace. Afterwards, he buys a drink, and he thoughts to himself it might be unnecessary for other people, but for her, she will definitely feel uncomfortable. Afterwards, he gets a glimpse of his hard working, while motivating himself that someone might need him. Meanwhile, she is watching him from inside, with a smile on her face. Afterwards, she walks out and shows her dress on his face. She then asks him to look at her dress, which is now nice and clean, to which he just replies with yes. But she still insisted him to take a close look on the dress. After getting her dress shoved in his face, he realizes it smells really good. Afterwards, she started to cuddle with that dress while saying it's really soft and fluffy. And she goes on by saying, she knew this place is the best laundry shop in here, which shocks him, so he asks to her if she already been to other shops, to say this one is the better one. To which she straight up says no, and this is her first ever shop. Also, the machine and the dryer are really old, but they work perfect. Plus, it will be really great if he likes this machine. As a result, he smilingly replies, that's what the owner will say. She then replies, she is the only one that comes here, so it's almost like her hideout. After saying it, she decides to leave, but then he calls her, and he goes on by saying that he wants to thank her for the detergent and everything she did until now. To which she thinks for a while and happily says she will think about it. As a result, he waves bye to her. But then before she could leave, he asks her to hang in there at her work, even though it might be tough. Also, he really likes the fact that she is a grandma kid, which is really cute and doesn't like he imagined. Afterwards, she gets flustered because he said she looks cute. In the end, she runs away, and while walking away, she thoughts to herself that her identity got exposed, so she should stop coming to this laundry shop. Meanwhile, he thoughts to himself that he should not have said that. After a while, he comes back to the shop while thinking to himself, he is using this washing machine shop ever since his washing machine broken. Even though it's an old and not so high-tech, still a hidden gem, because aside from him, there is only one person is using the shop. Right after he said it, someone walks inside the shop. As a result, he thoughts to himself that the other customer has walked into the shop, to which he greets her, to which she greets him back, and she goes on by saying if he is using this place for a while. He then replies it's his second time to ever come here. Afterwards, he apologizes to her, because it should have been a peaceful place, but he made it worse for her, which shocks her, so she asks him to not worry about it. He then goes on by thinking she is a popular singer, also she is appearing in variety shows and movies, and yet she is still using this place with an happy face. For a long time, she then suddenly pours all of her dress in the machine, which shocks him. All of a sudden she gets sad because she forgot to bring her fabric softener. After hearing it, he asks to her if she wants to borrow his softener, to which she takes it and smells it by opening the lid. In the end, she gets happy because it's the same one as she usually use on her dress. In the end, she decides to use it. After a while, after turning on the washing machine, he sits there silently, and after some time later, she is also sitting there silently. In the end, both of them silently stares at the washing machine. Afterwards, she grips her fingers on her fist. Afterwards, she stares at it, and then she goes on by flipping her thumb finger in a pattern. And while she is doing it, he takes his dress and smells it while thinking to himself he is smelling the same as that popular idol. She then suddenly notices him and calls him, which shocks him. But then she shows him her fist, and she invites him to do the same thing as she is doing if he is free right now, which is a game she found by herself. After hearing its rules, he questions her on why she is trying to play this suddenly, to which she just replies it's nothing. She then thoughts to herself that someone is making fun of her because she just lost the match pathetically. But that girl was her manager. And she goes on by comparing her to elementary school kids, and they will put up a real fight in this game than her, which made her to get really angry. Afterwards, at the present, she says she wants to prove someone that they are wrong, to which he just accepts her invite to play the match, and asks to her on who it is because she is asking it really serious. But then she suddenly says it will be boring if they play it without a bet. And then she gets an idea, and tells to him that the loser should buy the winner a treat. As a result, he gets motivated to win. Afterwards, both of them gets ready to start the game. All of the sudden, she started to blush while laughing, which shocks him. So he asks to her if he did something wrong. But as the time goes on, she started to smile more and more. In the end, she explains he looks like a criminal who has been handcuffed. Afterwards, she once again started to laugh, while telling to him that she knows she is being rude. Meanwhile, he thoughts to himself that she can also laugh like this, because she is always cool in the screen. Afterwards, they started to play that game. But before they begin playing, he told her on what he is going to do before itself. But this confused her, because if it's the truth, he will lose. In the end, he started to do the countdown to start the game. As a result, she started to panic. But then he did something else this time. As a result, she lost the game. But for her, she couldn't able to take it in, and she started to say he is a cheater. In the end, she accepts her fate, and she realizes that she can play like this too. As a result, she says a lie, but then, while doing it, she was being nervous. And when the match starts, she said a different one and lost. As a result, she once again gets frustrated. Afterwards, they started to continue their match, but this time she was winning the match. Afterwards, he lies to her that he won't lift his finger. But even after hearing, she didn't lost her confidence. And she won that final match. As a result, she blushingly celebrates her victory, because she just won an ice cream. After seeing her, he thinks to himself she is a funny person. But then she gets cocky, while saying she is now feeling like she won't lose at all. To which he thoughts to himself she really hates to lose. All of a sudden she gets silent, and slowly says sorry for getting serious about this type of small things. To which he tells her to not feel bad about it because it's actually good to get serious about this type of things, which made her to giggle. And she goes on by getting ready to defeat the one she was planning to defeat for a while. As a result, he thoughts to himself if she got an elementary school cousin or something. Afterwards, at her workplace, her manager says she is really bad because it's an 8 losses in a row. As a result, she asks her to stop it because it is hurting her to win again and again. As a result, she was about to cry since she couldn't able to get her revenge.